Alrighty, so Group A, we have the Azzurri to start off. It's Italy, Switzerland, Turkey, and Wales. So again, I guess we'll start talking about your fellow Italians to start off. Unbeaten in about 8 games.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I'm getting a little excited.
Games. You know what? Looking at the composition, I do like them as a dark horse in the tournament itself. I think they're at the good end of the draw. The group is not the easiest group, I would say.
I'd say it's well balanced.
It's a well balanced situation. I like Insigne. I like Ciro Immobile, the Lazio striker.
These are all the guys I don't like on the team.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Well, I'm a big officer. I was watching Chiesa. I don't know if Chiesa's gonna start. That's a little bit. I like Ciro. I don't know if he's a star striker, but again, they're a very well balanced team from midfield into defense. And again, hard to break down. And again, I gotta pronounce it. Gianluigi Donnarumma. Donnarumma.
Yeah.
Again, to me, one of the better goalkeepers in the whole Euros.
Milan cannot wait to get rid of him, by the way.
Well, I think he wanted more money.
Supposed to be going to PSG. Yeah.
PSG, or I think Juventus, but then the thing with Chesney.
Teams are going to go to keepers. Yeah.
And I don't know what's it. And I think they were trying to play Milan a little bit for money, and now all of a sudden, nobody really needs a goalie.
That's the thing.
Or a keeper, I should say, not goalie. But again, unless PSG is trying to move on from Navas, I don't really see a fit anywhere. Because again, I think Chesney's getting paid a lot by Juventus, which to me,
he was never good to me.
To me, at times, even last year, I thought at times that Gigi was still better than Chesney in a lot of the games that I watched Juventus play. And Gigi's like 40-something years old.
But Gigi fell off a cliff. Like I remember about 3 years ago, people were saying, okay, this guy, and he did 3 years ago, and now recently, he hasn't. But that's fine. But getting back to the group, you want to talk about guys that I like, because I haven't been this excited.
Well, again, it's your squad. You talk about your Italian squad.
So as a soccer fan, and an Italian soccer fan, like when 2006, when it happened, obviously I didn't know too much about it because I wasn't a big soccer fan, but I was there for the party, I'm not going to lie. Now that I've been following soccer since I want to say like 2010, 2012, I have a good grasp of a bit of the game, but also more so the players. Mm-hmm. Now, when Italy won in 2006, they were your typical Italian team. Defend, very strong defending, and another like rock hard midfield. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now the defending is getting a little bit older, and they're still running out these older guys. Yes. Because
Chiellini, Bonucci.
They're both still going to be there. Now the fullbacks are a little bit younger. I don't know exactly who's going to start. So Spinazzola is injured, mm-hmm. and then also Florenzi, who I really like, who went from Roma to Spain and now PSG. Yeah. Love him. Now Verratti, I've never been the biggest fan of, but he plays for PSG. Still one of the best midfielders in the world. Mm-hmm. If he's in form, look out, because my favorite player from Cagliari in Serie A, mm-hmm. now at Inter and won everything, Barella. I think that Barella might have like the tournament of all tournaments. Mm-hmm. Like I think that this is going to be his coming out party. So you have him, and then Jorginho, who has had a really strong season as well. Mm-hmm. This is one of the better midfielders they've had since they've had like Pirlo, Gattuso, and those guys from like Marquisio, right? Like their midfield went through like 2008. I think they bowed out in the group stage. They didn't qualify for the last Euros. It's been really rough. Yeah. Now the youth movement's coming through.
There was a
World Cup they qualified, but not the Euro.
Wasn't it the reverse? I think it was the reverse. No, they weren't at the World Cup. I don't think.
One of them they did qualify for.
Yeah, I think it was at the. I think they didn't qualify the World Cup. The Euros they were there, I believe.
Okay. Well, they weren't good. Whatever one they did qualify for, they were also very bad at.
Yeah, they weren't great. And again, the thing was the last one they did. Remember, I was telling you they had Graziano Pelle, they had Eder. They played reasonably. They beat Spain in that Euro. They did well. Okay, they lost to.
They lost in penalties.
I believe they lost to the Germans. Yes, the penalties were terrible. Yeah. Remember the bald guys, Zaza and he skied. Yeah. So they
were terrible strikers.
And that's the problem. And here's the situation with them: it's been a team a little bit in flux because. Okay, and I like the guy. You like the guy. We were all big, on Balotelli.
And I was going to bring up
Balotelli was a leading guy, and again he fell off a cliff. He's in Serie B, and he's not even that old. I don't think he's even 30.
I think he just turned
29, 30. He fell off a cliff, and again their reliance was a lot on him making a lot of the plays.
Incredible. Scoring some of the best goals I've seen.
He scored some incredible goals. He got him to one of those finals where they
against Spain. They lost in the Euro final.
But I think he beat the Germans in one.
It was a one-man show.
And then since that, they really haven't had. And then there's other guys like they were thinking about El Shaarawy was going to be a guy that was going to be big.
Nothing, yeah.
And I like some of the there's Belotti's another guy.
Belotti's good, but as another guy I don't rate very high. Like I expected him to be better. He's supposed to be going to Roma this offseason, last year to the but sticking with so up front, like I said, like I like Sensi is injured, another guy for Inter, another attacking midfield who's going to miss the tournament, got injured. But like I said, Jorginho, Barella, and Verratti, I really like that midfield. And then up front, you're going to have Insigne, Immobile, and then probably Chiesa there. Yeah, and I do like Chiesa.
I think Chiesa is one for the future, a guy that can really be something. He's got the pace. I liked what I saw. I think he's still a young guy. He's only like 20, 22.
22 maybe, yeah.
He can probably be one of the leaders for the team going forward, a really good player. I think he'll be one of Juventus' better players next year as he keeps progressing. Sure, yeah. So again, it's a good situation. You look at the rest of the group. I particularly think that their biggest competition, probably who they face tomorrow, that we're starting up early, is probably the Turks.
I think so too.
I think the Turks are again, a lot of people are picking them to be dark horses in the tournament. Guys like Yilmaz, they beat I think they beat the Netherlands not too long ago pretty thoroughly. Again, they're a good side. I don't know how far they would be able to go in the tournament, but a hard team to really break down. Yeah. It's a really interesting first game. The Swiss again have had better days. I think I think they rely still a lot on guys like Xhaka. I'm a big fan of Shaqiri, the little guy. Does his thing. Wales did really well in the 2016 tournament. I don't know what they'll do in this tournament because a guy like their talisman, that one was Bale. Bale's been all out of sorts. He still did pretty well for Tottenham in the